Hi, I'm Rita Carson. I was named after my mother, but it got a little confusing having two Ritas in the house. So my older siblings decided to uh, give me a nickname of Tootie. So Tootie is the name that I have gone by for most of my life. It's not until I've been going to school this time that people have started to call me Rita. All through high school and everything, even the IRS knows me as Tootie. Um, I was brought up in a small town in Nebraska, Herman. It's only got like 342 people in it, so very small, only one paved road. uh, there's not a whole lot there. So we used to ride our bikes, and that was about all there was to do there. Um, I now live in the country outside of Ottawa, Iowa. I live really close to the river, and it's really nice and peaceful out here. I like to go fishing, so fishing is really close. There's other places besides the river, too. There's some small places to go, so if you don't want to fish out of the river, you can. Um, my major is started out to be medical coding and billing, but I decided that maybe that's going to go a little more to the computerized end. Excuse me. And since it could go to computerized, I decided to go for another semester and be an administrative office medical. And this way I can also end up with a full associate's degree and not just a certificate. And when I get out, I would like to work in a hospital or a clinic setting. So either one gets me in that type of a setting. Right now I am unemployed. I was working for Pomida, which was bought out by Shopko in 2012, and then last year, of course, Shopko went bankrupt and closed all of their stores. I had a few offers from other retail stores that to run their stores, but I did not want to go through that again, where I had to close stores. And anybody that watches the news, they can see that retail is very shaky right now, and especially with all the COVID-19 going on and everybody having to close and now starting to open again. Depending on what I would have gone into, I could have had to have been closed again, and I really didn't want to have to go through all that. So I decided just to go for a different career, and this way I could maybe stay home with my family on the holidays and not have to work. Not having to work on a Black Friday at 4 in the morning is a wonderful thing. I really enjoyed not having to do that this last year. My favorite things are fishing, of course, I said. Although with fishing, I do like to fish, and I will fish and catch, and I will even clean the fish, but I will not eat the fish. I like fish in a stick or a square, but when it comes to the fish that I catch, I clean them and I put them in the freezer. I always gave them to my father because he would do fish fries. But now my father has passed, but now my husband now loves fish, so now he eats it, which it works out well. My daughter also really loves it. I also like to do target shooting in our backyard. Paper plates is about all I shoot. I like to do uh, different arts and crafts. I like cross stitching and diamond painting, and I like to do puzzles and Sudoku. I have a hard time just sitting still. I like to keep busy. If I'm sitting, even watching a movie, I have to be doing something with my hands to keep busy. I just am not one to sit still and do nothing. I enjoy Husker football. Once a year, my mom and I go to a out-of-state game. We take a bus tour and go. She's in her 80s, so it's really nice to just be able to spend a weekend. It's a long weekend, and it's a long time on the bus, but we get to go and spend the whole weekend together. It's just her and I, and we have a lot of fun. And go Huskers. We have a lot of fun. But I really look forward to chapter 14. It's the relationships in the workplace. A lot of things changed just in the time that I was a manager, from the time I started to the time that I quit being a manager. And I would just really like to see where things are now and the different things that are going on, what they're looking at for the future. Everything is so much more diverse, and things are always changing, and there's different things that you have to be sensitive of now that you didn't have to back then. Different things, it's always evolving and always changing. So it'll be really interesting to see. As a manager, I was also the HR person for our store too. So, unless I had to call corporate for something, but within the store, I was HR. So if there was a problem or anything, I had to deal with it. And if there was anybody that needed to be hired, it was me that did it. So it's, I'm used to having to look at the different things that they're talking about just in our first chapters here, but I think the different relationships that they're talking about in that chapter 14 will be very interesting to see where they're going forward. But that is pretty much me in a nutshell. So I look forward to seeing what all of you guys are up to and what you guys think of for our new class.